Good day, everyone. In this presentation, I will be sharing with you the concept behind and the importance of studying bookkeeping. So, I was invited by your teachers to talk about this topic. So, I hope that at the end of this presentation, you will be able to gather something important that you can also apply in your life and in the future careers that you want to pursue. So just like each and every one of you, I am also a proud product of the integrated school, and I graduated junior high school last 2019. So I really hope so that through this, you will be able to get to know better the subject, be excited of what's about to come with this course, and get some important tips that you can also apply as you take up this subject this academic year. So before I formally begin, here is the topic outline of what was asked of me to share with you. First, I will be sharing how was the experience of studying bookkeeping when I was in junior high school. Of course, what its importance is, and how will it be able to help you in your future strand, future courses, or future careers. And lastly, what are some of the insights or takeaways that I was able to gather upon studying bookkeeping when I was in junior high school. So I hope that I made clear the outline. So before I begin, I will first introduce myself formally to all of you. So hello, I am Bryan Mesada, and as what I mentioned a while ago, I'm also part of the integrated school family. I started my journey here when I was in grade 1 and up until now. So I'm currently taking Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, the same institution under the UN Log College of Business and Accountancy. The same college, I am also elected as the incumbent secretary of the Student Council, and it is already my 9th year of serving the student body. And one thing that I can share with you as an achievement, which I can say is a product of studying bookkeeping, is graduating as the rank 1 of the ABM strand when I was in senior high school, also here at USLS at Liceo de la Salle. So later on, I will be sharing with you how this subject was able to help me achieve this attainment, also how it guided me in pursuing the current course that I am taking in college. So let's proceed with the first part, which is the experiences I've had when studying bookkeeping. First, of course, each and every one of us, we face new discoveries, new concepts, new ideas, and similar to each and every one of you, upon hearing the word bookkeeping as a subject to be taken up in grade 9, of course, it's also something new for me. I have no idea what will be discussed or what's going to go about upon taking up this subject. However, I believe similar to myself, you will also learn to love the subject along the way. Personally, at first, I also felt that it was too distant from what I wanted to be. Just a quick share, I wanted to pursue a medical field when I was in elementary. However, later on, I learned to value something else on a different path that brought me as to where I am today. So I can say that this subject is also a big factor as to where I am right now, because again, it's very important for your future as well. So along the way, you will learn to appreciate the process. Bookkeeping follows a certain cycle, and medyo gasulit-sulit na siyang cycle as you go through, and when facing transactions, you need to go back to the first step until you end it until the last step, and it will go over and over again. So up until now sa college, same lang gina siyang process na gina-follow. So along the way, ma-appreciate mo na siya and ma-learn mo na lang to siya to love, because you are facing it every day. Of course, what's a subject without challenges? Of course, bookkeeping gets more challenging along the way, but this is where you value the importance of listening. I mentioned a while ago that bookkeeping is a process. It's a cycle that goes over and over again. So you need to keep track of what happened from the starting point to the end point. So I want to reiterate that listening is really important in this subject because if you don't know how to perform the first step, you will really get lost along the way. So again, as a former bookkeeping student here in IS, I really learned to value the importance of listening because it really helped me to attain high grades and even um, graduate with flying colors. So of course, it cannot be denied that teachers make it fun and interesting as well. The course or the subject, I mean, is really difficult to understand, most especially if it goes deeper and deeper. But your teachers, Sir Carlo, Miss Lynn, and Miss Dessa, I assure, really will make it something that you will find entertaining or interesting, that you want to listen really to the subject and the topics that it covers. Um, Next, this is where you will understand how meticulous the steps are. So in bookkeeping, you're also taught how to be more keen of the actions that you're doing, because a single mistake will really make a change in the process. So later on, mag-discuss ng inyo teachers, you will see gid bala nga ang gamay nyo nga sala will really make a big difference sa answer nyo, since every part of the problem is scored differently. So if your answer in the first part is already wrong, medyo maka-affect yun na siya sa answers nyo on the later part of the problem. So, this is where you will really need to be careful and understand na the steps are really meticulous, so you need to be careful. Next, of course, it's also memorable. By memorable, I mean preparing activities and doing individual and group tasks and taking summative assessments and quarterly examinations. Sa bookkeeping, you will really feel nervous magwa ka exam quizzes or other assessments, because as what I've mentioned, one mistake can make a big difference. So, it's also important that you study, because kami sa una, syempre ka-study din kami, and you can realize din naman how important it is, kay the exams are very tricky. So you need to know how the process is done and what concepts you need to know para mas ma-ace nyo pagid ang mga assessments that you are getting. Of course, as I went through this subject, I also found it helpful because it helped me realize that opportunities are really open for everyone, most especially in the workplace in relation to bookkeeping as a whole. And it also assisted in my discernment process. I mentioned a while ago that I once dreamt of having a profession under the medical field, but I can say that studying bookkeeping really pushed me towards the financial aspect of the job or workplace, because it really inspired or motivated me to enter into such profession, and it will really drive you to be more and to achieve that certain title. Like, for example, in my case, to become a CPA, and it really went or started with this subject, I can say. So next is the second part of the presentation, which centers on importance. Or the big question is, why is studying bookkeeping necessary? So I've mentioned a while ago that I'm from the Yunlong College of Business and Accountancy. So I've also asked some of my fellow council officers that are taking up accountancy as well and business economics. Of course, they also took bookkeeping when they were in junior high school. First, from Manang Eliza, the current CBA governor, bookkeeping opens one's minds to the starting point of accountancy. Thus, understanding it will really help. Next, for Manong Lester, the current CBA treasurer, said, eventually you will still go back to bookkeeping when studying accountancy, as it serves as its main foundation. And Manang Elaine, the CBA batch representative for the fourth year, said, bookkeeping introduces the basic concepts and terms that will be essential in taking a related senior high school track or undergraduate program. So upon reading the answers of these three people, there is a common ground between their answers. It is the foundation of accountancy, and it will help you in your future course in college. So I believe that everyone else that are already finished with the bookkeeping subject agrees that it really helps upon taking ABM or accountancy courses, because mag-senior high school ka mo and mag-college, you will go back to step one over and over again, and having the basic knowledge learned from bookkeeping subjects will really help you um, have a smoother flow of understanding the topics, because syempre mag-college na mas budlay na ang topic, so at least you have a foundation already of the basic knowledge and terms that you can really apply in the near future. So personally, here are my takes on the importance of studying bookkeeping. First, critical thinking and analytical skills. So in bookkeeping, you are really tasked to analyze the problems or the transactions, and amo to hambal ko kagina, one mistake will really make a difference. So you need to look into the details properly to ensure that the information that you will input in the ledger or the journal notebook are accurate enough. Next, of course, again, there is an edge in future strand and programs, because having a basic knowledge on bookkeeping will really help you, most especially in the first part of your course or strand, because you will really begin from point zero again. Next, there's an increased motivation for the chosen track or profession. So as what I've mentioned kagina, it really helped me to decide on the career that I want to pursue. So I hope similar with me, this subject will also push you to lean more on the financial or bank-related courses such as accounting, management accounting, or accounting information system. Also the ABM strand, because there are really plenty of opportunities that await you in the near future. Lastly, of course, it aids in financial management and budgeting. In bookkeeping, you are tasked to take note of the transactions of a business or a company, and it shows where your money goes, its inflows and outflows. So you will really see how the spending of a company happens. So it will also reflect on your own personal expenditures. So once masimo bala sa company nga hala ka gasto gadis ayla, you will also tell yourself nga base amo man ko ni, so you will also make adjustments on your own practices para mas ma-apply mo pagid ang subject that you're taking in your real life. So I hope that you are able to have a glimpse already of the importance of studying bookkeeping, and along the way mas ma-realize nyo pagid ang importance ng aga study ka mo sini, and it's not just for grades purposes but more than that. And the last part is short enough, and I will just share with you the takeaways or insights that I have taken while studying bookkeeping. First, the importance of listening and taking into account even the minor details. This is what I've mentioned a while ago, because you will go back to square one in the future track that you will be taking in senior high school and the future course in college, and having the knowledge that will be stored in your mind if gapamati lang kamo will really help, and taking into account even the minor details, because again, one mistake sa transactions or journalizing will really make a big difference. So it's important that you take note of every detail. Personally, medyo ga-overthink ka man at least kung anong ginamin sa mga words. Pero again, bookkeeping will really help you develop your analytical skills, and along the way, mas strengthen pag ina siya, and help you solve more challenging problems in the near future. Next is to believe in yourself and never be demotivated. Of course, sometimes in our lives, when we feel down and hambalagit na nga hindi ta kaya, you should always stand up and say nga, kaya mo ginaya. Because if kaya sang iban, why can't you? So amo na balahaw, always have the positive mindset within you para mas maintindihan nyo pagid ang lesson and mas ma-apply nyo pagid siya in the near future. And learn to love the process. personally, I can say nga, it's really hard to do something that you do not love. So if you plan to pursue accountancy related courses or the ABM strand in the next academic years, I can say nga bookkeeping is a good starting point for all of you. So nami gid if diri pa lang ma-learn nyo na to love ang process ng bookkeeping, kay ma-carry on nyo na lang na siya in the next years to come. So I believe that's all for my presentation. So thank you, kid, for listening, and I hope that you were able to take something from this simple presentation that was asked of me by your teachers. And I hope that this will also be a stepping stone for you to um, value this subject and to enjoy the journey and the process along the way. Thank you and have a good day.